It all started with a very dear friend of mine, Tasleema Alam. She's a lecturer. She's very involved with Islamic art, so she is an expert in Islamic art. Recently, and let me brag about my friends, but Tasleema Alam received a commission to make a huge carpet for the royal palace in Britain, so for King Charles. Tasleema was chosen to create the design. Tasleema Alam spoke with Charukola, which is the Faculty of Fine Arts of Dhaka, and they came up with an idea of inviting me to exhibit the PlatiGleam paintings, but also to teach. I adore Charukola. It's just so pretty. Everything is artistic there, you know, the walls are painted, the gardens are beautifully manicured by the professors themselves. You can see the students of my Bargue drawing course. Now, the Bargue method was a drawing technique invented in the 19th century by Charles Bargue. And because most people nowadays struggle, they cannot draw anymore like we used to draw in the 19th century, I only teach classical technique on purpose. So all the universities I go to, I'm a visiting lecturer for several universities, I force the students to do pure classical technique, not adapted to modern days, no, the real deal. So these are the lovely students. They gave me a group of 50 postgrad students, so master degrees and PhDs, and they were learning how to draw like the old masters. You are given a template. So every student chose the drawing they wanted to do. I gave them the options. You choose one drawing, and then you're going to do a replica exclusively by eye. You are not allowed to take measurements. No cheating. It's real drawing skill. Has to be exclusively by eye. No, you can't see how many pencils of height, or you can't see how many times the width fits in the height and all that nonsense. No, this is real artistic training. And for 1 week, you are going to calibrate the eye, so you start detecting even millimetric errors. And the maximum error that is allowed to you on your Bargue drawing is roughly 1 millimeter. How do you think that geniuses like Soares dos Reis did that wondrous sculpture in marble? You cannot do corrections. If you make the leg too small, that's it. You can't make it big again. Classical technique gives you a level of precision and an ability to draw whatever you want. Not just reality, whatever you want. Even from imagination, even from memory. Actually, most artworks until the 19th century were done from imagination and memory, including the Mona Lisa. Do you really think she was posing for years? No. Artists would do sketches, studies, and then they would complete the painting based on memory, imagination, and the study. They wouldn't even paint real landscapes, for example. Landscape painting, it kind of only, more or less, only appears more or less with the Impressionists. A bit before, you know, artists like Constable were doing it. But Renaissance landscapes, they're from imagination. So the next image shows some of the results. So these were drawings done exclusively with charcoal. The Bargue method in the 19th century used to be taught to 11-year-old children. When this course was first conceived in the 19th century, was to teach children how to draw. This was the minimum level that you needed to have to enter any fine arts academy. They wouldn't take you in if you couldn't draw at least like this in the 19th century. Nowadays, we draw so badly that I'm teaching this at universities worldwide because they don't teach drawing in secondary school. They don't teach drawing in college. They don't even teach drawing at university in most cases. So this shows the decline of classical drawing technique. These were drawings that initially were made by 11-year-old students. The Bargue drawing that Picasso did when he was 11 years old. It's really cute. My students now are much more relieved because they got they passed. Now they're smiling. I also went to teach children. There is a charity called It's Humanity Foundation, and they sponsor more than 3,000 children so that they can go to school instead of working. Child labor is a major disease in Bangladesh due to the poverty levels. It was amazing to go and teach them painting. I was a bit softer with the children, you know, I wasn't teaching classical technique, don't you worry. We did some really lovely abstracts with bright colors. It was really pretty. I believe this is the very last image I want to share with you. I'm so happy that my very dear friend Gianmarco Donaggio was nominated as a talent 2024 by the biggest film festival in the world. More important than Cannes Festival, more important than the Venice Festival is the Berlin Film Festival. It's the biggest in the world, Berlinale, as it's called. And Gianmarco Donaggio was nominated as Talent 2024. Why did I bring this to this talk? Because he made 2 films about my art. We never thought this was going to happen, end up at the Berlinale. If you are an artist, keep insisting, even if there's no response, even if there's no help, no external motivation, because sometimes fate has got these strange twists and turns. And the image that you see over there is from the film Azul no Azul, which means blue in blue. And it was the first film Gianmarco did about my artworks, the blue paintings at the National Museum of Contemporary Art. It's a short film, it's 8 minutes long, about how the artist sees the world. He entered my head, literally, and he filmed the classical sculptures of the National Museum of Contemporary Art, all in shades of blue. We were using blue filters, blue mirrors, blue smoke, blue lights, everything that was blue. We even had a window where transparent blue paint was slowly dripping down. And he was filming through the window. Because another disease, I think, of the contemporary arts is that everybody became so individualistic that you don't have any more art movements as you used to have in the past. Collaborate with other artists, create collaboration pieces, and sometimes they might, who knows, they might even take you to the Berlinale. Thank you very much for your patience and for listening, and I am ready for questions if you have any.